Hey everyone, hope you're doing well. Today on Collection Lessons, I want to talk about choosing. This is part of my Collection Lesson series. Anything I say on this channel is not anything advice. And let's get going. So, I just want to be really raw with you guys right now because this topic is very eye-opening, I found. And so when I talk about choosing, is everything is a choice. And that's what I believe in, and that's just my belief. But I believe everything is a choice. Everything from your situation, where you're in, where you're at, where you're going, I think it's all a choice. And so if we dive into that, what's a choice? Well, where you work, your job is a choice. Your money situation is a choice. Your life is a choice. These are all choices. And what I mean by that is like, well, I'm not happy at my job. Well, then get a new one, right? That's a choice. You can, well, I can't afford getting a new one because then it's gonna be tough. Those are just excuses for your choice, right? And so it's like, if you don't like your job, and this is where people I find can hit these walls. And I'll call them walls because that's what they are. It's just a brick wall. And it's like, if you say everything's a choice, people find the walls themselves. You'll find the wall yourself. It's like, well, I don't like my job, right? So then it's like, well, then, this is the choice and this is the excuse. And choice and excuse I find kind of go together. So choice and excuse. Job. Don't like my job. Get a new one, right? Get a new one. Well, I can't afford it, right? Well, what do you mean you can't afford your job, right? Can't afford it is usually one of the things. I can't afford time. I can't afford, going to interviews because my job, and I can't afford, that transition period of job to job or whatever it is. And it's interesting if you see, like, well, if you don't like your job, if you don't like the association, well, that's all there is here. That's all I can do. That's all that's in my city. Well, then move to a different city. Well, then my family's here. Well, bring them with you. Like, there's people overcome these obstacles, right? Especially people that are, migrating from, I know someone from the Philippines or, another country, and they, chose to come here for a better life. If they can create a better life than where they were, or they, choose, okay, well, I'll come here, and then, the family will come here as I gain money, as I gain wealth, whatever. But it's always a choice. Your job is your choice. I chose to get into IT. I made lots of choices along the way. Not all my choices are the best ones or the great ones, but I'm currently happy with, my job. It's doing what it needs to do today. It's fulfilling what that need. It's my choice, right? I chose in my opinion, a decent career of where I want to go. That's just my perspective of it, of course. But, I chose, let's say, when I went from job to job, I chose the next job because I thought it would improve my life in some situation, right? And I chose to make that step, and it's a very hard step to make for a lot of people, is the job choice, right? Started out in a grocery store, right? That was a first job experience. I experienced a lot there in 1 year that I was there. When I went from that job to another one that, I was at a theater, and I enjoyed that job. It was fun and everything, but I found that if I got stuck there and there's bad association there, I was just going to be there forever. And it's kind of like, it's almost like all these hops along the way. It's kind of like heartbeats. And then, if your heartbeat flatlines, where does that leave you in life? I went from one job to the next, to the next, to the next, and I enjoy what I'm doing now, and it's fulfilling, at least for me, for now, and it's doing what I needed to do, and it's paying the bills and everything, right? But some people will get stuck at their job for 40 years, and then they complain about it. And so you've been there 40 years. What happened to your lifeline? Why did it stop? And it's all a choice. You chose to stay there. It's a hard, difficult choice. It's unfortunate if you feel that way after 40 years about your job. It's, it can be sad. And, you want to keep the heartbeat going. Same with money. Money is also a choice. Where you spend it. Do you have subscriptions that you don't need? Do you have, do you watch 80 hours of Netflix, 40 hours of Netflix a week? And you're spending, the $8 and it's costing you more than your money. It's costing you your life. Where are you spending your life points? If you want to call points a life, if you think of like a video game, I relate to video games because I grew up playing video games and I still play some. And it's like, where are you spending your life points? Where are you spending your attributes? Are you spending them in strength? Are you getting fit? Are you spending them in knowledge? Knowledge or wisdom? Are you spending it there? Where are you choosing? You're choosing to spend your life somewhere. Are you spending it at the bar, at the club? Are you spending it at home, not doing anything? Are you spending it growing? Are you spending reading books? Where are you spending your life? You're choosing where you're spending it. And it's unfortunate when, you get trapped in this mindset of it's not a choice. It's just, this is my life now. And that's a very hard thing to hear. This is my life now. Just draw it on the screen. This is my life. I don't know why the eye looks like that. But this is my life now. And people get stuck like that. I got 2 kids. This is my life. Another day, another dollar. It's very saddening. And people, it's like you'll find people, and this is what I found, on my journey. You'll find people with the heartbeat. And you'll find people that are just flat. They're just flatline. They feel like their soul inside them, if you believe in a soul, has just withered. And it's so saddening when you find people that are like this, and it's like they're lost. And they're like, they're hitting little blips every now and then. Well, I like it. Oh, I just, not for me. Oh, this is my life. I enjoy it a little bit. I'm looking forward to the weekend. We're drinking with the boys. I'm looking forward to playing that game that comes out that just is going to waste more of my life. And I get that these things, I enjoy these things too. But what I often found is temporary pleasures lead to permanent regrets. We'll call that here temporary pleasures often lead to permanent regrets. And if you just think of that quote, temporary pleasures often lead to permanent regrets. I enjoy video games. Yep, I played too much of them as a kid. I admit that. I agree with that. And those temporary pleasures lead to permanent regrets. I regret, not reading more books in my life. I regret skipping out on this, on that. And you'll find these in your own life and stuff too, right? And anyway, if you're in this situation, if you're in a lull, if you're in whatever, I really like this quote, and I kind of almost want to, keep it in my life forever. It's a Dr. Seuss quote, and let me just make this bigger right off the hop if I can, and maybe some of you will know what it's from. But in the Dr. Seuss quote, it says, unless someone like you, there's a whole awful lot. Nothing is going to get better. It's not. Dr. S-E-E-U. And that's from The Lorax. And I really enjoy that movie. There's an animated one. There's old, a book about it and everything. But that quote, I remember that quote when I first heard it, and I'm gonna keep hearing it, and I really like it. And I really want to share it in this video. Is everything is a choice, and unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing is going to get better. It's not. And I really think that people need to look at their choices and look at their life, and then see if you can improve. Right? If you're stuck in a lull, if you're stuck at the same level, if you're stuck at whatever, see how to revive this heartbeat of yours to continue on in life, to get better at life, to enjoy life more. Because I know, it's depressing, especially with this whole COVID situation that's been going on the last year or two. A lot of people haven't been able to get to where they wanted or enjoy the same experiences or whichever. And I know it's really hard right now with, a lot of people are having, health issues or budget issues, money issues, or job issues, that type of thing. But unless someone like you, you care a whole awful lot, it's not going to get better. And I just really think that's powerful to think of, and powerful to just take some self-perspective of your choices. And I know I'm always looking at my choices and the job choice, the money choice, the life choice, this is my life, whatever. And I'm always looking to improve it, and I just feel like my heartbeat would stop if I stopped. And I would just be in that lull state where it's just going to stay the same I'm going to be stuck at doing exactly what I'm doing now. And that scares me a whole lot more than getting into sketchy things like crypto or businesses or whatever, right? It's just being stale or being stagnant or being flat scares me more than having some sort of heartbeat in life. So, anyway, wanted to share that. Thanks everyone, and talk soon.